Welcome to Elf Central. Let's talk about something I do a fair amount of. Matter of fact, it's something that everybody does a lot of. When they're speaking, when they're debating, when they're arguing, offline, online, happens all over the place. And there is some pushback against it, but not healthy pushback. And that's generalizing. People frequently generalize. That's a generalization. Most people are. All people are. Generalizing is kind of a soft quantification. It's allowing anecdotal evidence, which is evidence. It's compiling experiences and thoughts, hopefully critical thoughts, into something that you wish to express, where you do not have the exact statistics. And we all know about statistics, don't we? If you don't know my opinion by this point, then 97% of all people will believe anything that has a statistical percentage expressed in it. Generalizations, you want to be a little careful of your words. All, most, some. They give people, you need to know how people will interpret that. When you say some meat eaters do this, are they thinking some is 30%, 50%, 80%? When you say most Catholics are, is most above or below the halfway mark? Is it 3/4 of them? When you say all, it's a generalization that lies, because there's no way that you have checked with everybody in that particular group, unless it's an incredibly tiny group, which requires a whole lot more definition. When I generalize, first of all, I do consider, for me, some is a third or less. Most is well over the halfway mark. If you've got a group most, which means the big chunk of them will step to the left, feel a certain way or act a certain way. I try not to say all. I know I say it from time to time, but if I say all people living in this apartment, well, I'm pretty safe there, because that's me. And I've polled me, and so I know what I'm thinking. I also replace the key word, the group of people that I'm generalizing about, with other groups and run over it and see what do I think, how does it parse. An argument that's been going on for a little while now online is the not all men argument. Apparently, from what I understand, feminists in particular, but women in general, are, and by that I mean some, are very tired of men responding to their generalizations that men are douche canoes, men are rapists, men are aggressive, unthinking brutes, with the response of, but not all men are like that. They see it as being well, I want out of that group because I'm not like that. I'm going to, cop out, and, I know a couple of guys that are not like that, so therefore all of your argument is false. I'm not seeing the all your argument is false part. What I am seeing is in my experience, you're saying all men are rapists. In my experience, no, rapists are rapists. They include men as well as people of other sexes, but they do not include all men. If we do a Venn diagram, it is not an overlapping pair of circles. So when you say not all men, replace the word men. That seems to be the part that is really, well, it's not all and men. So replace it with not all feminists. I could generalize and say all feminists seem to be angry, men-hating people. I'm going to get back not all feminists are like that. Matter of fact, anytime I bring up anything negative about feminists, and there are people that stand on the soapboxes for their own agendas and their own reasons, and there are people that are angry. There are people that are out to insult and to hurt. Is it a huge percentage? Is it the entire population? No, it's not, but there are some. But even when I say some feminists are anger-fueled, self-involved, the general immediate response is, but not all feminists. And that's acceptable. When somebody mentions, and you do run into this online, unfortunately, a fair bit, and it upsets me, a bomb goes off in the Middle East, and people are killed, and someone says, Muslims, read the Quran, Muslims just want to kill everyone that doesn't believe the way they want. The immediate response is, not all Muslims. Those are extremists. Not all Muslims are extremists. Not all Muslims are that way. Acceptable. When, you know, a little joke, how do you know if someone's a vegan? Oh, give them 5 minutes. They'll tell you all about it. You bring that joke up, and the first response is, not all vegans. Acceptable. Why is not all men not acceptable when all those others are? And again, replace the keyword in some other things. All men are pigs and dogs. Something that I will say from time to time. And it is a gross generalization, and it is incorrect. So, replace all men are douche canoes, all men are a-holes, all men are, you know, when we're angry we generalize like that. We've been burnt once or twice by members of a certain group of people and we lash out. And that's understandable. Lashing out, it's emotional, that happens. It's when you're discussing things, no matter how passionate and heated you get, that you have to be aware of this kind of thing. So, you know, all men are assholes. All women are assholes? No, that doesn't fly. All African Canadians are assholes? Oh, no, don't say that. But all men are assholes. That's somehow accepted a lot of the time. All Caucasians are privileged. A very blunt statement with certain other qualifiers, I could agree, to a point. But again, replace Caucasians with all Asians are privileged. All, and you don't even have to, you know, be that close to all members of physically disabled and challenged fandom are privileged. Nobody's going to buy that one. But see how it parses. Some of them will be ridiculous. They'll make you giggle like a, you know, schoolgirl. And those ones you can toss out. But the closer you get to a group that can replace the other group, society allows us to argue, insult, and get angry with certain people because it's a fad to support, because, well, it's right to support these people. It's good to support homosexuals. It's good to support vegans. It's good to support feminists. It's good to support people of color. How about we support everybody? Because the implication in there is you can support those people, but you cannot support other groups. It's good to support feminists. Tends to say it's not good to support those who do not label themselves feminists or those who are arguing any other form of rights based on sex. Further quantification often helps. Qualifying statements. All Caucasian men in North America are generally privileged. I can get behind that. I know you're meaning that when you say, you know, all white men are privileged. But there are places I would disagree. White men in other countries may or may not be privileged. All Caucasian men in Russia are privileged. Oh, no, baby. Not even close. I know the implication is there. But particularly if we are having a passionate discussion on something that we both have an opinion, it will come down to the small bits at the edges. We both agree with the main, or we both disagree with the main, and it's the little bits around the edges that are going to support and prove. Then you need to have those qualifications, those quantifications in there, because I can't assume that you're going to accept my implications, and you can't guess that I'm going to accept yours. It does lead to longer sentences with bigger words, but when has that ever been a bad thing?